Most people think they're mentally strong. A 2023 survey by the American Psychological Association found that 71% of Americans describe themselves as resilient. But here's the thing. The same study found that nearly half of those same people felt overwhelmed, stuck, or emotionally exhausted every single week. So we either don't know what mental strength actually looks like, or we're confusing it with something else entirely. Today I'm breaking down the 3 rules that separate people who stay strong when life gets hard from the people who just think they do. Everyone talks about grit. Angela Duckworth's research at the University of Pennsylvania showed grit was a better predictor of success than IQ or talent. That became a motivational poster. Just push harder. Don't quit. But that's not what her research said. Duckworth found that grit without self-awareness leads to what she called perseverance misapplied, pushing hard in the wrong direction. For years. So if you've been grinding and still feel stuck, that might not be a willpower problem. That might be a thinking problem. Completely different thing to fix. Rule 1. Mentally strong people treat their thoughts like weather, not like truth. When a hard thought shows up, I'm not good enough, this won't work, they don't argue with it. They don't believe it either. They let it pass through. Psychologists call this cognitive defusion. Developed by Dr. Stephen Hayes at the University of Nevada, the idea is simple. A thought is just a thought, not a verdict. Most people fuse with their thoughts. I'm going to fail. This stops being a thought and becomes an identity. It runs the whole day. Mentally strong people create distance. I notice I'm having the thought that I might fail. That one shift changes everything about how you respond. A 2021 study in the Journal of Contextual Behavioral Science found people who practiced this reported 38% lower anxiety in high-pressure situations, not because the pressure left, because they stopped taking the thought personally. But if you can't always trust your thoughts, how do you know which ones to act on? Ong people are ruthlessly honest about what they can and cannot control. 2 people lose their job on the same day. Person A spends 3 weeks obsessing over whether the decision was fair. Person B spends those same 3 weeks updating their resume and reaching out to contacts. Both people are devastated. The difference is where their energy goes. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of history's most influential philosophers, built his entire framework on one idea. Some things are in our power, some things are not. Mentally strong people aren't just aware of this, they're obsessive about it. They catch themselves spending energy outside their control and redirect, almost automatically. A Harvard Business Review analysis found that distinguishing between controllable and uncontrollable outcomes was one of the top 3 traits in sustained high performers. Not intelligence, not experience. This. Rule 3. Mentally strong people have a completely different relationship with discomfort. Not that they enjoy pain. They've just stopped treating discomfort as a signal to retreat. Most of us were taught, not directly, but through experience, that feeling uncomfortable means something is wrong. Stop. Find the safe path. Mentally strong people figured out that discomfort is often a signal that something important is happening. Growth, not danger. Dr. Carol Dweck's research at Stanford showed that people who reframe discomfort as a sign of learning perform better under pressure over time. The threshold shifts. What felt overwhelming becomes manageable. Then routine. The American Institute of Stress reported in 2022 that stress tolerance in adults under 40 has dropped significantly. The gap between those who handle discomfort well and those who don't is getting wider every year. Now here's where I want to pause, because this is the part most people never reach. 3 rules. On paper, they make sense. But knowing a rule and living by it every day, especially when things fall apart, that's a different thing entirely. And the reason most people can't close that gap has nothing to do with motivation. Stay with me. People who consistently live by these rules aren't running on more willpower. They've built what psychologists call identity-based habits. James Clear puts it simply in atomic habits. Outcome-based thinking says, I want to be mentally strong. Identity-based thinking says, I am the kind of person who does the work even when it's hard. Those produce completely different behavior. Think about Maya, teacher, late 30s, 2 kids, going through a divorce, working on a degree part-time. From the outside, too much. But everyone who knows her says she's the calmest person in any room. Not because life is easy. Because when a hard thought arrives, she notices it and keeps moving. When something goes wrong, she asks one question: what can I actually do about this? And when she's scared, she goes toward it anyway, because she's learned that avoiding it just makes the fear bigger. Maya isn't special. She just made different choices about how to relate to her own mind. So many times that it became automatic. That's the real thing underneath all 3 rules. Not a mindset, a practice. Here's something most people never consider. The World Health Organization's 2022 World Mental Health Report surveyed adults across 116 countries. The cultures with the highest psychological resilience weren't the ones that emphasized toughness. They were the ones that emphasized connection, meaning, and tolerating uncertainty without needing to resolve it immediately. Mental strength isn't about being harder. It's about being more flexible, more honest, more willing to sit with what's real instead of fighting it. If you're in the middle of a hard chapter right now, you don't need to be tougher. You might just need to stop fighting yourself. So why does it still feel wrong? Why do people who know all of this still find themselves stuck and exhausted? Because knowing and feeling are 2 different systems, and the feeling system is faster. Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett at Northeastern University explains that the brain is constantly predicting what comes next based on past experience. If being vulnerable once led to getting hurt, your brain predicts danger every time you try to open up, even when you know better. So when your neighbor gets a new car, or your friend posts vacation photos, or your coworker gets the promotion you've been working toward, the gut response is comparison, inadequacy. That's not weakness, that's biology. The difference is what you do in the 30 seconds after that feeling arrives. Mentally strong people aren't people who don't feel those things. They're people who got better at that 30-second window. Mental strength is not a personality trait. It's a pattern of response, practiced over time, built in small moments, mostly invisible to everyone around you. Rule 1. Your thoughts are weather, not truth. Let them pass. Rule 2. Your energy is finite. Spend it only where you have real influence. Everything else is noise. Rule 3. Discomfort is not a stop sign, it's a direction sign. The thing you keep avoiding is usually the thing that matters most. One thing to take from all of this, just one. Start with the 30-second window. Next time you feel reactive or overwhelmed, don't try to fix everything. Buy yourself 30 seconds. Notice the thought. Name what you're feeling. Ask what you can actually do. That's the whole practice, in miniature. The people who do that consistently, not perfectly, just consistently, end up looking to everyone around them like they think completely differently. And maybe the real question is, what would your life look like 60 days from now if you made that one shift today?